So what we see here is a Knight 600 valve tester. So this is a unit made in probably the late 1950s, early 1960s in America. It's designed to test valves quite crudely, to test them for good or bad, to test for short circuits, possibly at low plate voltages, and to test for gas, i.e. whether the valve is grossly leaking. I mean, you can not normally see sort of gross leaks by the fact that there's a white cap on the top of the valve anyway. So there are the three tests. It does a whole range of valves which you can set the machine up for using this illuminated scroll with all the various types being detailed as to how to set the switches and so forth. I'm going to do a 6L6, but firstly I'm going to make sure the thing is halfway calibrated. So I bought this off eBay and I was assured it was 240 volts, but well, the step down transformer says otherwise, right? I had a 3-prong plug put on it by Time Travel Audio, who operate out of Leith near Edinburgh, and they did a very good job of making it safe, so I can at least switch it on. So I'll do so. Switch on, you'll see the thing illuminating. Very good. It's not going on fire, and it's also got some form of calibration. Now this calibration is the position of the needle in the middle of the screen versus line adjust, which is a simple rheostat dropping some of the voltage coming into it from the mains, and the heater voltage on a tube socket. So sorry, valve socket. So I'm expecting 6.3 volts on a 6L6 or 6V6 heater circuit. So what I need to do, just to check that, is set the switches for a 6L6, say. Okay. 2 down, 3 and 4 up. All as detailed on the roll chart that you can't really see because of the blinding light. But you can see that the needle is sort of like a wee bit off center towards the good side. I'll zoom in there to let you see it. Just readjust the camera. Oh. Okay, so you can see that the needle is off center. I can bring that down with line adjust, right? So it's dropping a wee bit of the mains voltage on a sort of like a rheostat. Quite crude. So that's it right in the middle, or as near as you can get, right? There we go. Now if this were calibrated, I should be measuring 6.3 volts on the heater circuit. Now I'm going to check that. I've got a fluke, and I'll stick it into pins 2 and 7 of that octal socket, just there. And I'll see what voltage I can get. So I'll zoom back out again, and I'll let you see the meter. So I'm going to go into volts AC, because it's an AC voltage in the heater. And I'll go into pins 2 and 7 and see what value I record. That's 6.26. That's pretty good. I'll raise the line just a tad, right? And check again. .3 volts, and that meter is dead in the middle. Let me just zoom in and show you. And that's it. That's all the calibration you get. So I didn't have to do anything to this thing. Maybe Time Travel Audio did it for me, but that's as good as it gets. So what I'll do now is I'll actually try a valve in it. So I do have some valves available. You can see them on the left hand side there, Tube Amp Doctor ones. So let me get a 6L6. There we are. It's one of these Tube Amp Doctor red bass things. A 6L6 GCM STR. Huge valves. I think they're made in China, but they're very good valves. So anyway, I'll plug it in. I'll turn this thing off first. And turn back on again. Okay. So I'll set it back to default. So this is the default scenario with all the switches in the middle position. So these go like one up and one down, right? So the roll chart says 2 down, 3 and 4 up. And it also has an indication of how you test for shorts, which one should be an expected short, and which one you have to manipulate for the gas test. So for the 6L6, it's pin 7 is the expected short circuit, and pin 4 in the slightly down position, that would be the middle in this case, and actuating the value test would be a gas test. So go through it, the short circuit first. So that would be every switch position in the going up, apart from the ones that I've set, which are 2, 3 and 4. So the first position goes up, and watch there, because that's the indicator of a short. The expected one is 7, so it'll go straight to 7 and go up. So that lights up. That's what you should see if there's a short in any of the other switches, which is bad. The position 7 is expected. So I'll move up in this one. That's no short, no short, no short, expected short, no short, no short, no short. Okay, so the valve isn't actually got a gross short circuit between one of the internal components, be it the anode, cathode, grid, or any of the screens. So let's try the gas test. Now, I really don't know how it measures this, by the way. How does it measure whether there's a vacuum in there? Because you've no direct access to the inside of that glass envelope. However, the test is for this to go down one position, all detailed in the roll chart, and then to actuate the test and watch the meter fall into the good area on the gas test, as you can see by the meter. Okay? It passes its gas test, whatever that means. So now the third and last test, I'll just put it back to the nominal 6L6 position, is to see whether it's a good or a bad valve. So all you do is you go into the value position in this switch and watch the meter. Now what I'll do is I'll zoom into the meter. And whilst actuating the test, that indicates good. It actually indicates 76 out of 100 on that scale, that unitless scale, that somewhat meaningless unitless scale. However, good it is. I'm not sure if you can do things like comparative testing between like one known valve with a known value and then testing another one against it, and degrading the measurement in some way by tenths on the scale. I don't know. It's an emissions tester. All it says is it a grossly bad valve or not? So that's a good valve apparently. No indication of how noisy it might be, how subject to microphonics it might be, how it might react with 450 volts on the anode. No indication how it might perform with vibration. It's just an indicator of grossly bad valves, and that's all it really should be used for us, I think, or as a first stage in testing with a more expensive valve tester. I do have an Evo Mark III, which I've not tried yet, but this was my first purchase, and I had to get sent away for the work done to convert it to 3-prong earthed plug before I even wanted to switch it on. So it seems to work fine, and it seems to do as advertised. So we'll see how I get on with it. Cheerio.